Okay, we'll start loosening up. Shake out the wrists and elbows. Shake the whole body. And now let's loosen up the waist. Bring the feet together, we'll loosen up the knees. If you hear a ticking sound, it's not a time bomb. It's the clock adjusting itself after having been knocked over and dropped its battery. Change direction. And now let's do the ankles. And change direction. Now the other foot. And change direction. Okay, all season Qigong for warm-up. So with heels together or hip width apart if you're concerned about losing your balance. Interlock your fingers, inhale. Exhale. Stretch out any tight places, continue deep breathing, return to childhood breathing. Come back to center, inhale. Exhale, turn to the side. Inhale, come back to the front. Exhale, turn to the other side. Inhale, come back to the front. One more time to each side. Inhale, come back to the front. And exhale, turn to the side. Inhale, come back to the front. Take your wrist, stretch up, exhale, and bend. Inhale, come back to center. Change to the other wrist, stretch up, exhale, and bend. Inhale, come back to center. And one more time to each side. Inhale, come back to center. Stretch up, exhale, and bend. Inhale, come back to center. Now exhale and bend the waist and move your hips around to loosen your lower back.
Squat down with your feet flat. And lift up your heels. And we'll come back up.
Loosen up the shoulders. So bring your shoulders forward and inhale. Roll to the back and exhale. Stop with your shoulders in the back. Inhale with your shoulders held back. Reverse directions. Exhale when your shoulders come forward. Now alternating sides. Inhale on one side. Exhale on the other. Can you feel the whole body connected in this? Can you imagine like something's pushing up on your foot here, and that movement is transmitted all the way up to the shoulder, and then pushing up on the other foot? Stop on the exhale side. Now inhale on that side and change direction. Exhale on the other side. Now we'll drop the chin onto the chest. Roll the head to the side. Gently stretch out the muscles on the side of the neck. Then roll down and put your chin on the chest again. Roll up the other side, gently stretch. And continue rotating slowly from side to side. And bring your head back upright. Now step out to shoulder width stance. And we'll do Buddha Explorers at Sea. Just bend the waist slightly, not too much. Hands on hips. Inhale. Exhale. Turn your head, look up at the ceiling. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, turn the other way. Look up at the ceiling. Inhale, come back to center. And continue turning slowly from side to side. In coordination with your breathing. And come back upright. So we step out to a little bit wider than shoulder width stance, and we'll start with horizontal circles to loosen the lower and middle burners. Coordinating with breathing. Inhale when the lower dantian goes backwards. Exhale when it comes forwards. Focus your mind on your lower spine and sacrum. Turn slowly to the side. Gradually come back to center. Turn to the other side. Come back to center and reverse directions. Continue to coordinate with your breathing. Continue to focus your mind on your lower spine and sacrum. Turn to the side. Gradually come back to center and turn to the other side. Come back to center. Slowly make the circle smaller. We'll come to a stop and we'll wave the spine. Working first, of course, on the lumbar section, coordinating with breathing. Turn slowly to the side. Gradually come back to center and turn to the other side. Come back to center. Now bring the wave up to the shoulders. Continue to coordinate with your breathing, of course. Focus your mind on feeling the connection as a wave starts in the bottoms of your feet and moves up the body section by section till it reaches the tops of the shoulders. And remember, I'm deliberately saying the tops of the shoulders rather than the top of the head, because I'm not extending the wave up to the top of the head. If we did that, we'd probably get whiplash. So we stop the wave at the top of the shoulders. And now we add the arms. You could add any of the, you could add the healing sound for triple burner, tss, tss, or the healing sound for lungs, air leaking from the balloon. And now, one arm at a time. And the other arm. And we'll end with energy cleansing. So step your right foot back into hip width distance. Move your arms out to the sides. Gather the universal healing chi as you inhale. And as you exhale, bring the chi you've gathered in through the Baihui gate at the top of your head, the gate for heaven, chi governing vessel number 20. And down layer by layer through your body, and feel the fresh chi flushing out stale chi, pain and illness, stress and tension, negative emotions, and flushing them all the way down to the bottoms of your feet and out into the depths of the earth. And again, inhale, gather the chi, and exhale, bring it in and down, again inch by inch. Visualize the fresh chi flowing through every bone and muscle, every organ, cleansing and healing, all the way down to the bottoms of your feet and out into the earth. And one more time, inhale and gather the chi. Exhale, bring it in and down again inch by inch, flowing through every cell in your body, healing and revitalizing, all the way down to the bottoms of your feet and out into the earth. All right, next on the agenda, yin-yang symbol tracing. So let's just warm up by doing the yang side first. So, of course, 1 foot forward, and you can put your right foot forward if you want to mirror me, or if you don't need to mirror me, then whatever foot you like. Remember that we have weight shifting, front stance, back stance. We have waist turning from corner to square to the front and back to corner. And we have chest bow opening and chest bow closing, chest bow opening and opening even more, and then chest bow closing. Okay. And palm facing in until we cross the center line, and then palm turns out. So that's palm facing in till we cross the center line, and palm turns out. Size of the circles, or the size of the, we'll call them circles, can be large, but not any larger than palm of hand, about forehead height. We don't want to go up here. Okay. Or size of the circles can be very small. When you try to make the circle smaller, the key thing is, of course, not to lose the body connection. All right? So still waist turning, weight shifting, chest opening, chest closing. Do you remember that the pattern can be slanted? So now I am doing the pattern at a 45-degree angle, and it's probably easier to see from the side. And as you get comfortable with the pattern, we make it a little bit more complex. Because there's a couple of things we do to simplify the pattern in the beginning. And one is we say just breathe normally, or do exhale on the large circle, inhale on the figure 8. That's to make it easier to have fewer things to think about as you're learning the pattern. The other thing we do is say weight stays back when we do the figure 8. But when you're comfortable with the pattern, then the pattern becomes more complex. And you can see here now there can be weight shifting on the figure 8 as well as on the large circle. And the other thing I want to show you about the yang pattern is it can be not only a 45-degree angle, it can be horizontal, parallel to the earth. And you can actually do the horizontal pattern with a partner. And I hope someday we'll be able to do that with the partner. Okay, so now let's switch sides. So whatever side you were on, change to the other side. So we warm up both sides more or less equally. So large circle and figure 8. connect your whole body in the movement. And I'm going to go to 45-degree angle. I'm going to go to flat. And I'm going to go small. All right. Now, moving. So in order to give us more things to work on solo, I've added to blue and purple sash solo stepping with yang pattern at blue sash, and then yin pattern at purple sash. And also with purple sash, then switching from yin to yang and back again. All right, so stepping. I put one foot forward, doesn't matter which one. And I'm stepping forward, of course. I'm going to step forward on the large circle. So right about here, remember with the stepping, when I want to step, I'm going to let my waist turn my front foot out on the large circle. So if I'm not going to step, then the front foot's going to stay straight ahead or slightly to the inside of straight ahead. But if I'm going to step, let me make sure it's in the camera frame, I'm going to go like this. So the right foot will turn with the waist out 45 degrees, and I'll step to center and I'll step out and continue on the other side. So that's our stepping forward. Large circle, and followed by another large circle. Now, stepping backward on the yang pattern. The best way to do that is on the top of the figure eight, which is the yin circle, the yin coil. And when we're stepping backward, of course, it's going to become a spiral because it'd be three-dimensional. So now, with okay, not a lot of room for stepping here. So, large circle. bottom of the figure eight, top of the figure eight, I'll step to center and step back. And as I turn my waist, completing the middle of the figure eight, I'm going to let the waist turn the front foot in. Okay, and I'm going to take over with the other hand. Okay, so let's look at that again. Large circle. Top of the figure eight, step to center, step back, turning, and the other arm takes over with the large circle, starting the large circle. So if I don't move my feet, just look at the arms, it's going to look like this. Okay, so ignore my feet, but the arm movement's going to be like this, okay? And the feet aren't right because I'm not stepping, but just to show you the arm movements. So now let me try to show you that from the side. Now, large circle. Step to center, step back, turning waist, and starting the yawn pattern with the other arm. Top of the figure eight, stepping center, stepping back, turning waist, turning foot, and starting another pattern with the other arm. So forward pattern. Okay, large circle. The waist will now turn my foot out, my front foot out. I'll step to center, and I'll step forward and start a new pattern with the other arm, okay? Stepping back. Okay, now notice the footwork here and stepping back. It's just like Tai Chi walking. We step back and then, we step to center and then step back. Okay, step to center and then step back. Now there's a reason, of course, why we do that. And one of the reasons is because when you're doing the pattern with a partner moving, when your partner steps forward to attack you, he or she will try to step and hook your foot so that they can knock you down, right? Their attack would be like diagonal flying. Okay. Well, when your partner steps up like this, tries to hook your foot, if you try to step straight back, you're going to get your foot swept. It's going to actually bump into your partner's foot and make it easy for your partner to sweep your foot. The other thing about the stepping back is we start to adapt to glide stepping, which is the foot not raising very much off the floor. So if we pick up the foot, then you can imagine the potential for your partner sweeping you become greater because you've now gone to a one-legged route, which isn't a very good route at all. But if you glide step, stepping to center out of the trap and then stepping back, your route will be much firmer when you are attacked. So we want to get into that habit for the next level of the yin-yang symbol training where the partner would be attacking you. Okay, now let's go to the yin side. So put one foot forward. Now if you want to mirror me, put your right foot forward. Now, I always have to say, I think that's how you would mirror me, but you can judge by your own screen there, because we're dealing with the video transmission and also. I put my left foot forward, so you want to mirror me if you are not comfortable with the yin pattern. So yin pattern, large circle. So notice that the large circle will start with the waist pointing to the corner. Waist will turn square to the front, and then as we complete the large circle, the waist will go back to the corner. From the side, so here my waist is to the corner now as I complete the large circle. Let me refine what I said. I get down here where I'm ready to start the figure 8. My waist is coming back to square to the front. The figure 8 will look like this. So large circle, figure 8, palm down, palm out, palm up, palm in, palm out, palm in, palm down, palm out, palm up, palm in. So palm down, palm out, palm in, palm down, palm up, out, palm up, palm in, palm down, and now out, palm in, palm down, palm out, palm up, palm in, palm down, and now turning out, palm in, palm down, palm out, palm up, palm in. All right, that's our yin pattern. Now let me do it from the side. Palm in, palm out, palm in, palm down, palm out, palm up, palm in, palm, so it's down, and then it will change to out here, and then it will come back to in, down, out, up, and in. Pay attention to the chest as we do the yin side. Very important to getting the connection and power in the yin pattern. So notice that as I do the large circle, there's a big chest opening and then a big chest closing. Okay. And then the figure 8, chest opening again, not as much as on the large circle, and chest closing again. So look at the extension from the weight shifting on the large circle and the chest opening. Also waist is turning, okay? So my hand goes from about here at the start of the large circle to way out here at the top of the large circle, and then back to where it started as we complete the large circle. And if you remember when we did the wrist grabs with the yin coil, reversing or breaking out of the wrist grab, when somebody grabs your wrist and you do the large circle here, you may remember it's like on the receiving end of that, it's like someone is attacking your face. And with the fingers extended, even though you still have a grip on their wrist, you've got fingers coming towards your face. So you might be tempted to push it away. And then when you're pushing the hand away, from this angle, pushing the hand away here, your opponent over there, is going to lead to your being drawn in as your opponent's being drawn in as you complete the large circle. Okay, so very quick, sneaky, and very surprising for the opponent. They haven't really seen, most of the time, never seen anything like that. All right. Next Tuesday, we'll continue with yin-yang symbol, because I want to talk about stepping with the yin pattern, and I want to talk about switching from yin to yang, first stationary and then moving, and mixing the two patterns. All right. Now, I said we would do some Taiji Ball, so I've got my ball here. Yeah, I'm going to repeat what I've said a couple of times before. In this situation, I think the only way we can keep up skills of dealing with external energy, absorbing, redirecting, and returning external energy, is by working with the ball. Unless you have somebody who knows what they're doing, knows some Tai Chi, and is quarantine safe. So I recommend that everybody use or acquire a Taiji ball. So first pattern, just rotating. Nothing much to see with the feet here because they're not moving. I'm just in stationary stance. But as I was talking about before with the circling the shoulders and how there's a little push up, you might feel like there's a little push up under your foot that starts you in motion, up to the shoulders and then out the arms to the fingertips. Same idea here. So if you imagine a little push up to the bottom of your foot, and then that little push makes the inner ball rotate. And the rotation of the inner ball then is transmitted on to the outer ball. Rotating is usually done too fast to coordinate with breathing. And this is really good. If you have a weighted ball, very good for strengthening your wrists. If you have problems with your wrists from injury or arthritis, then a plastic ball is best because it will help to heal the injuries. And then once you've healed, you can gradually use balls of increasing weight. So rotating. And rotating can be done stationary or rocking. And rotating even can be done stepping. That wasn't a good step. My foot caught on the carpet, so stepping forward and stepping backward. And rotating can be done overhand and also underhand. And in a rotating pattern, the height of the ball can vary between down here where the outer ball is on the same level as the inner ball to up here where the top edge of the ball is level with your nose. So in all the patterns, we never bring the ball higher than that for two reasons, right? One is it tenses the shoulders if you bring the ball up higher than top edge level with your nose. Also, expose the rib cage. It's not a good idea for Taiji Chuan martial art to get in the habit of using movements that expose your rib cage. So there's rotating. And rotating, the hands stay on the ball. They don't move, and the whole surface of the hands and fingers stays in contact with the ball, so we don't have the fingers coming off the ball or the hands coming off the ball. And rotating, as I said, stationary, rocking, and walking, and even Bagua circle walking. Now, another pattern we have is wrapping. So wrapping, we can use one arm at a time. So again here, there's a little push up starting in the bottoms of the feet. And that's transmitted to the inner ball, which wraps, and then the movement transmitted to the outer ball that wraps. So as I'm doing the wrapping, my right hand is wrapping, and my left hand has the task of keeping the ball from dropping. So my left hand will do whatever it has to do to keep the ball from dropping, while my right hand wraps the ball. See the different positions of the right arm as it wraps. Wrap like this, wrap like this, and wrap like this. So this is sideways. And then, of course, we can go 45-degree angle. We can go right over the top, totally vertical. And wrapping can be done backwards as well as forwards. Wrapping is slower than rotating, or can be slower than rotating, and so it's easier to coordinate wrapping with breathing. And of course, as we wrap, let's exhale. So you can wrap with one arm at a time, and the other arm or the other hand simply keeps the ball from dropping, or you can alternate arms as you wrap. Now as I alternate arms, I'm going to pivot my hand like this on the ball so I can wrap with the other hand. And then I'll pivot and wrap. In and out. In and out. And I can use this pattern of vertical like over the poles, and then I can use the pattern also of I might have to revise that statement. Around the equator, not so easy to do. So, and over the poles backwards, yes, also not too difficult at all. So wrapping and rotating. And then we have our circling. So if we put one foot forward, inner ball and outer ball next to each other, we can circle like this. Bye-bye, Elizabeth, you signing off? Have a good evening.
Go. You gotta go.
Okay. Circling like this. And with circling, we have stepping. And a very important point with the circling and stepping is that the stepping needs to be coordinated with the position of the ball. That means that if I'm stepping forward, I want the ball to be past the top of the circle, which we'll call 12 o'clock. And over here on the other side, about 1 o'clock. $12 past the top of the circle to 1 o'clock. See what I'm saying? So that the stepping is timed with the position of the ball. We don't want to be pushing the ball forward, which we would be forced to do if we tried to step with the ball at 11 o'clock. We want the ball to be pulling us forward, which is what happens when it is at 1 o'clock when we step. So more about that next time too. So I think for a while maybe carry on Tuesday evening with silk reeling and Taiji Ball. And we'll talk more about stepping in next week. Take a look at the August 7th interactive 8 pieces of brocade class. And I think that's how we're going to have to model our Tai Chi classes. And maybe if we're able to, we can have, if we have a couple or 3 instructors, we can break into rooms. I'm hoping that the subscription that I have to Zoom would allow us to do that, so that people could be put in a room with an instructor to work at
their own level for at least part of the class. Now we'll turn you over to Mark for more Tai Chi, and have a good evening. Stay safe and well, and keep tuning in, keep moving. We need to keep going as best we can. We can't let this situation result in big setbacks for your health and stamina. Even hopefully you don't catch the virus. You don't want to lose your health by too much sitting.